Hello, everyone. This is Kristen Brindley, publisher of DC Metro and Nova Real Producers. And Christine Richardson, thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh my God. So excited to be here, Kristen. Thank you.
She was our March cover story. Go like this. And page 36, it's so difficult with the camera here. We are zooming our interview. So if you have not checked this out and say your copies at the office, download Digipub, make sure you check it out. But she was our March cover story. And it is such an honor to have her on. I have much respect for this lady. She was, it's funny, she got an award from her company about being the #1 dual agent last year because she was president of NVAR and still closed 59 deals, 36 million, just a little bit of work there. And 31 years in the industry, just, a leader. And I've heard her say she just loves real estate. So, normally I ask why real estate? You could do anything, but, why do you love real estate? Tell us this journey.
Oh my gosh. I really do love real estate. I feel so lucky that I found real estate. I mean, what's so great about it is every day is totally different. You wake up in the morning and you have no idea what the day is going to be like. You think you do, but then, the phone rings or whatever and everything changes. And I get to be with people all day long, which I totally love. And I'm definitely a people person. And I get to meet new people all the time. And, we just work with such fabulous people. You get your buyers and your sellers, but then also the other agents and all the other people in the transaction. It's just such a great business. And, to be self-employed, have your own business like this, and then also get to do the fun things that we do and really make a difference in people's lives. It's just perfect for me. I just love it.
So for you, what has been the biggest challenge as a real estate agent?
That's a great question. Biggest challenge, I think we sometimes have to deal with folks who are going through a tough time. And I think one of the things that really good realtors have is empathy. And so I struggle with that, because I try to be positive all the time, but sometimes you're dealing with people who are really struggling. They're going through a divorce, they're going through losing a death, they're going through something financial, and I've got to be there for them. And I just find that, I think, the most difficult. Because I love it when you've got happy buyers and they're finding their first home and all that kind of thing, and that's so much fun. But unfortunately, we also have to deal with the other side of that. And sometimes people are going through a tough time, and I find that challenging.
Because you care. So what has been most rewarding for you in your business?
I love that smile on someone's face at settlement, or, when the buyer finds the right house. I always think it's so funny. I'm sure that, a lot of your other people in the community experience this too, but you take buyers through houses and they have a certain way that they look at houses, and they might have like a spreadsheet they're working on and all that kind of stuff. And then they find the house and everything goes out the window. There's no longer a spreadsheet. If they used to be really chatty, now they're very quiet. Whatever. It's so funny. I just love that. And I always tell people that finding your home is kind of like falling in love. You just know. You walk in the door and the house is going, hello, I'm your house. I'm right here. So, and I just love that. I think that's so exciting. And to watch them go through that process, it's wonderful.
You get to see that moment.
I do. And I love that.
Define success for us. This is one of my favorite questions. What is success to you?
Success to me is making a difference in the world through my interactions with others. I think one of my favorite quotes, I think it's, I'm not exactly sure who said it, but I think it's Mother Teresa who said that everyone I come in contact with should be better because they met me or because I was in their lives. And I feel very strongly about that. I think everybody that I come in contact with, I want to make sure that their lives were improved because I was there. Whether that be a buyer, a seller, whoever it is, I think that's success for me, is if I can make the world a little bit better just through the interactions that I have with others.
Can you, I love that. And I wish everyone felt more like you do.
Well, I see you doing exactly that, Kristen. I mean, I have to say, this community that you've created, I just think it's so great. I mean, we're all in this together, and you get that. And you have such a servant's mentality, which I just think is so wonderful. And so, whether you know it or not, you're doing exactly what I just described.
Thank you. That means very much to me. All right. Tell us, I almost got teary-eyed. Tell us about your family. you light up when you talk about your family. Tell us a little bit about them.
I'm from a huge, big, Catholic family. I'm the middle of 5 kids. I have like 50 first cousins. And then I have 2 kids myself. I've been married for it'll be 37 years this year. I married my college sweetheart, yay. And we work together. He's on my team. He's not a licensed realtor, but he does all the tech stuff for my team. And so I get to work with him every day, which is so great. My 4 brothers and sisters, we sort of spread to the wind initially when we all first got married, several of us in the military, that kind of thing. And we've all returned now to Northern Virginia. And it's so great because the 5 of us we're in constant contact with each other. And, of course, when we're not in the middle of a pandemic, one of us would text to the other one, hey, anybody want to watch the Caps game tonight? And the next thing you know, there's 15 of us sitting in front of a television, literally an hour later eating pizza. And, we do that kind of stuff all the time. It's so great. And, I'm so close to my family and so lucky to have them all right here.
That is amazing. I am slightly jelly right now. That is amazing. You also light up. Can you tell us a little bit about your team and, because you're such a leader. Tell us a little bit about your team.
Well, there's actually, the team is relatively small. So there's Mark, as I mentioned, my husband, and he does all the tech stuff. So he's the photographer, he runs the Matterport camera, and he does the websites and all of that for us. And just love having him on the team. It's great, and I love working with him. And then Denise Longo is a client that I met, I don't know, 25 years ago. I was selling her house and we just connected. And I said, oh my gosh, you would be perfect for the real estate industry. You should get your license. And she was having babies and all of that at the time. And so it really wasn't the right time. But finally in 2005, I talked her into it. She got a real estate license. We've been working together ever since. And she started out as an assistant and then, quickly demonstrated that she was a rock star. And so she's so good with buyers, so good with sellers. She has a really strong ability to stage. And so we stage all of our listings. And so we have a professional stager we use initially to kind of go in and give the sellers, kind of the bad news. Because I find you don't want to be the one that has to tell the seller that the striped wallpaper in the dining room has got to go. Because they think you don't like the house. And they don't want to hire someone to sell the house that doesn't like the house. So I let someone else tell the bad news. But then we go in and help them do the final staging to get it ready. And Denise is really good at that. And so Denise is licensed. She's a full-time employee, but also, works with buyers and, of course, helps me with all the staging. And so the 2 of us we spend the whole day together. We finish each other's sentences. And so that's really great. And then another former client, Tom Mutton, he's a stay-at-home dad with 4 kids, although his kids are now, the youngest is about to go off to college. So he's working a lot more. But I brought him onto the team. He's an amazing rainmaker because he's got this just bigger than life personality. And, once you've met Tom, you've met Tom. You don't forget Tom. He's one of those great people. And so he just meets so many people. He's out in the world all the time. And so he just brings buyers and sellers into the team. And so that's kind of the whole team. And so we just have such a great time together. We laugh all the time. It's really hard now that we can't be with each other. We're having to do this over Zoom all the time, but it's such a great team. We just have a great time together.
So can you tell me, what is the biggest reason or reasons for your success, do you think?
I think work ethic is a huge part of that. I work really hard, and I'm not afraid to do anything. So, if I think it needs to be done, I just do it. And I don't care about, whether it's the right, whether it's supposed to be my job or not, I just get it done. Whatever it takes to get a transaction done, I'm willing to do. I think what my clients really appreciate is that I stay calm no matter what, and I'm very confident. And I think that's what people hire us for. We're handling one of the biggest transactions of their lives. Usually it's emotional for them. It's obviously a huge financial transaction for them. They need you to stay calm. I have a transaction right now that's on life support. And I've been trying to bring this thing back for the last week, and it's been a struggle. But if I get hysterical on the phone with my client, that's not going to help. So, I just very calmly say, okay, so here's what's going on now. It's not good. Had a call from a lender and here's what's happening. but here are the options. Here's what we're trying to do about it. The good news is the buyer still wants your house. We just have to figure out how to get them in it. And so, they stay calm because I stay calm. So I think that's one of the things that's made me more successful, I guess, is because I'm confident, I'm calm, and I'm a really hard worker. I'll do whatever it takes to get it done. I'm a problem solver, I would say.
Absolutely, professional problem solver. I could definitely see that. Can you tell
have
us?
to be this, don't you?
Oh, I was thinking that's a perfect recipe for an entrepreneur right there.
Right, right.
You just got to decide to get it done. What is something that you've done that other realtors absolutely should do, or other real producers should do?
If you don't have a business coach, I would highly recommend that you get one. I've had a coach for probably 15 years. The one that I have now has been my coach for 11 years. He was the top agent in the Philadelphia market for many years before he retired to Florida and now does professional coaching. He's amazing, and he keeps me on track. So, we have a call every 2 weeks, and I've got assignments that I have to do, and I keep all my numbers for him. So I know what's going on in my business all the time. When he sees a little hole in the business, he can say, you're a little light over here on long-term sellers. You need to work on long-term sellers, get going on that, because otherwise 3 months from now, you're not going to have any business, that type of thing. And the other thing he's really good at is, I tease him that he must have cameras in my car and in my house or whatever, because he'll call me and I'll say hello. And literally all I've said is hello. And he'll say, what are you nervous about? You seem nervous. Or you're worried about something. Why are you worried? Or, oh my gosh, what happened? You're so happy. I'm like, all right, all I said was hello. But he's just so tuned into me. So highly recommend getting a business coach. It's absolutely the best thing to do. The other thing I would say is get involved in your local association. You get so much more back than you give. You learn and you meet amazing people, other people who care a lot about this industry, because the people who volunteer, they're willing to give their time at the local association, are the ones who are really passionate about the business. So I just have met amazing people that way. That's how I met you. I met you, Kristen, at a DC Association of Realtors installation of their.
That is
and you and I met
true.
over some canapes or something like that. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this lady's amazing. I love what she's doing. And that was when you were just starting to launch your magazine. I think it was a few years ago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I met you right at I had just started, and I was like, oh, wow. And, I remember you that's amazing. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a good memory. Well, tell us a funny story. You have good, funny stories. Tell us a fun or hilarious story if you would like.
Well, there's one story that comes to mind. I had a client one time who was a small builder, and so I was handling all of his listings for him. And one of them was a small new home community of 15 houses in Hamilton, Virginia. And it's kind of off the beaten path, and I was having trouble getting people to find out about it. So I got this great idea that I was going to put a blimp over the model home. So I, because I'd seen one over the Room Store or something like that on Route 7, and I thought that's a great idea. So I called them and I bought this blimp. And it was 10 feet wide by 5 feet tall or something like that. It had a light in it. I had it made with the builder's name on it. I had the construction people put this big eyelet on the side of the house to attach it. Of course, I had to have power to it. I bought all this helium, filled it up, put it above the model home. It looked amazing. It's all, lit up. It looked so good. And people were slowing down as they drove by, looking up at the sky. It was so cool. I was so excited. I took all these pictures and I thought, I am a marketing genius. Oh my gosh, this is so great. And so that's, one day. The next morning, I drive to the model home at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's gotten a little bit breezy, not even windy, but breezy. That blimp is making these huge, angry circles over the model home. It is spinning around. It's dive bombing the top of the house. The shingles from the model home are flying off the house because the blimp is ripping them off the top of the house. And I can't get the thing out of the sky because it's full of helium and there's wind and it's holding it up. It took about 5 of us and a big truck from the construction. We had to tie the ropes from the blimp to the back of the truck, and the guy is gunning the engine to try to make the truck move, and fighting this blimp to get it out of the sky. So, needless to say, the blimp never flew again. That was its one flight, and we had to redo the roof on the model home. So much for the marketing genius.
Thank you for sharing that because, we, in our search to go, go, go and get it done, like sometimes things don't work. So do not get a blimp, guys. Do not,
Certainly not in Hamilton, where there's apparently winds because there are mountains. I don't know. Apparently it would have been better in a different part of Northern Virginia. I don't know.
That's hilarious. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Christine. It was a pleasure to have you on. And, you heard it here at Nova Real Producers. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Kristen.